Department of Child Services isn't meeting the legal requirements for the number of cases its workers can take on. They would need 77 additional family case managers to comply with the law. But instead of asking legislators for money to hire more workers, DCS is conducting an internal workload study. As Barbara Harrington reports, that has some worried about the welfare of children.
These are the faces of fighters, volunteers from Monroe County CASA who fight for the well-being of children.
We are a nonprofit organization that recruits, trains, and then we supervise community volunteers who advocate for the best interest of the children who are in the court system because they've been abused or neglected.
Volunteers spend a lot of time outside of the CASA offices, taking books and toys to the children they advocate for, hoping to make a traumatizing situation a little bit easier. And they work closely with the Department of Child Services.
Our CASAs have to have direct contact on a very regular basis with DCS to make sure that everything is going smoothly, to share ideas, to share information.
But what many volunteers have seen lately is troubling. DCS caseworkers are overworked. Monroe County CASA Executive Director Kristen Bechet says she doesn't know a caseworker who logs fewer than 60 or 70 hours per week. And she says that's having an impact on kids.
They see so much of what needs to happen with a child, with a case to move it forward, and no matter what they do, they just can't get it done. And it frustrates them to the point that they leave.
DCS has come under a lot of fire in the past few years. Former DCS Director James Payne resigned from his position in 2012 after he was accused of intervening in a case involving his grandchildren. That same year, the legislature formed an oversight committee to address complaints about how DCS handles cases and its lack of preventive services. Mary Beth Bonaventura took over as the executive director of DCS in 2013. She says this most recent controversy over caseloads is one she's taking seriously.
We thought as a team that it was prudent of us to really study our caseloads, our workload versus caseload. We are doing things somewhat different than we did when the caseload standard was established in 2005.
Bonaventura says over the past 2 years, DCS has added 246 family case managers. She hopes the study will reveal a more long-term solution to the increasing workloads caseworkers are facing. In 2009, the DCS hotline fielded 109,000 calls. Last year, that number almost doubled.
We're hoping and the goal is, and our contract is with Deloitte, that their study will be done by March 15th, which is before the end of the legislative session. And the goal is that we will then, if we need them, that I'll go forward and you know, go to the end of the earth to make sure that we get what we need to keep kids safe.
But Senate Minority Leader Tim Lannon is worried about the timing because the state is crafting its biannual budget now. He estimates it would cost $7 to $8 million to hire an additional 77 workers.
That study determines that we need to have 77 additional caseworkers, as we feel is the case. You know, certainly we're going to need to have to make that a priority in the budget. I hope we're going to be able to do so at that time. I'm going to be the loudest voice out there to insist that that would be the case.
Lannon also wants to have plenty of time to examine the results of the study. He wants to make sure the recommendations are about what's best for children, not what's best for the bottom line.
That's got to be the key, is what are the safe numbers? Not just by, you know, what can we get by with? You know, what's efficient in terms of dollars only, is what is a safe number?
Back at Monroe County CASA, Bechet doesn't know how caseworkers will manage in the meantime. She says the issues with DCS can't be solved at the local level. So she hopes legislators will take a hard look at what's going on and fight for more family case managers.
It's as important as life and death. They are there to protect the child and to offer services for the families. And so literally, if they don't do their job well, it could mean death of a child or more harm to a child.
Once the study is complete, DCS will determine whether to request additional funding. That money wouldn't become available until the next fiscal year that begins on July 1st.